I watched the typical what's the name? Freaking the biggest like ghost thing. It's like the Warrens. What the hell? Like, I have a
Like The
blank.
Conjuring.
Conjuring, boom,
Yep.
and Insidious. Those are my
Yep.
two go-to. As someone who's more like you're passionate about horror movies and stuff like, how do you feel about those two big franchises? I know they're going to release a new Conjuring soon and stuff like that. Do you see that and be like, that's too, kind of generic type of, or do you enjoy those big franchises as well?
That's an awesome question because I'm big on. I was just talking about this yesterday with Henry with butt rock. It's like you're not supposed to like it when it's like first cool, but then later on you look back and like you realize that it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And so yeah, when it comes to like horror, there's things that are overdone, like the Paranormal Activities,
Oh my God.
the Saw movies. Like I couldn't
What
keep
are they?
watching.
Saw 25.
Yeah.
It's like 12. I mean,
like I kind of lost my interest. I like things that kind of have like its own, like maybe like one or two films that are,
yeah.
and they kind of have like this mystery and lore still remaining. Like I love that type of stuff. But when I see a Conjuring movie, like I'm not gonna not watch it.
Okay.
Like I'll continue to watch it. Like there's so many disappointing films like that. Like the Exorcist movies, like they're just, I don't know how you can repackage this to make it work anymore at this point. Like you can either hit nostalgia, right? Because it's been some time since the original. So you either need to go back to nostalgia and just do it for the hardcore kids, or you need to do it, and evolve it. One movie series that I think has actually done really well is actually the Halloween movies. The most recent ones, they're actually they're ridiculous. Like, how does a dude not die? He just got shot 6 times.
Oh no, it won't make sense though.
No,
it just won't.
But that's
that's what I want. Like I mentioned, I'm a big wrestling fan, so like I love the kayfabe type feel of things.
It's a movie.
Yeah, you have to work with the movie sometimes.
It's
like,
campy. It's like
you don't watch that for the realism. Like I mean, like if you watch Halloween and you're seriously you're expecting it to make sense on every level, you're not. You didn't understand what it was supposed to be. Like
right.
It's just no. I was asking because personally, I connect with things like if I care about the characters, I prefer it. So like with the Warrens, like I love when in horror movies there's kind of a investigation where there's almost always that with paranormal, but like to have this, it's always the same thing. Like let's see, and at
it's
first
a build up.
It's always the same thing, right? Like the mom is noticing things, the dad is just like, it's not real. Like there's in front of the dad, like in front of his eye, you see like a chair being thrown and exploding, and he's like, that must be, we opened the window. That's what it is. Like, are you like seriously? But
right,
it's funny to watch. But in The Conjuring, for example, to have a couple like that working together, staying as guests in the house and like noticing, and so I just like the kind of fight back the evil part. I think I latch onto that, and I want to know also. Last thing, I promise. I want to know how you felt because not everyone latch on with horrors and horrors. Right. I'm just curious. I really liked the first season of Hunting on the Hill House because of that. I cared about the characters.
Amazing.
There was a lot of things in it. The hidden ghost in every scene. I don't know if you guys know that. Like, there's a lot of ghosts. Like, I kind of want to know because to me that's the best series they did in that like paranormal ghost horror type thing. Second season didn't enjoy as much, but like I want to know if you felt like that as well, like if you care about the characters and everything.
My favorite show right now, I think it's like a Paramount Plus show, if I can remember correctly. It's called From. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't on a bigger platform like Netflix, it will probably be purchased by Netflix at some point. It is amazing. It is. So like, just give you like a very, very like rough idea of it. Essentially, there's this town that when people drive through it, they realize they can't leave and they can never escape.
So
if you take,
I think. Yeah.
yeah, if you take the wrong turn, like you're gonna be stuck in this town and there's people there. But what's inside of the town is just like, I'm gonna tell you, just so you know. So basically, at night, there's like these beings that, like, if you open a window, like you can live with them as long as all the windows and doors are shut. But if you let them in, you have to invite them in. They will absolutely like shred you apart. Like some of the most brutal deaths I've seen in a show, and they're It's the almost comically terrifying.
Yeah.
They have the weird smiles and stuff, and they talk to them like through the window, like, oh, let me in, like that type of stuff. It's amazing, but this is a full series, and there's a ton of mystery on, like, can they get out of this place? What is this place? Why is this place? And you're getting the relationships built. There's a few characters where their acting isn't the greatest, and I like that. And then there's other characters that are amazing actors and actresses. So I'm a huge fan of that character type work, and I do prefer TV shows now, or series shows.
Character development, actually
it's building up. Yeah,
right.
Because if you don't care, it's it's just.
Have you watched a horror movie and felt like it was paced correctly, like ever? Like usually not. It's always,
I can tell that it's rushed. It's showing, we're gonna put them there to put you in context. Here's the horror part. It's like, okay, now you're in context, move on. You know, like they just don't care.
I love when they're in a house and like all of a sudden they see a person in the window, and then like it cuts to the next scene and they're like, oh, hanging out with their family. It's like, dude, if I saw that, like,
right. No reaction. Yeah.
Like,
they're just like, no, it's okay. Like, I saw that, and like, and they're trying to convince the other person it was nothing. Yeah, but you saw it. You were there. I was nothing. You were there. No, it was probably just. I love that. Just denial, like eternal denial. What's the name, by the way? Can you repeat the name of the
From.
I'm very curious about this.
The theme song for it is what Will Be by Doris Day. And it's just a classic song. It's Que Sera, What Will Be. And we actually used that. I did a remix of it, and that's what we walk out to when we play live.
That's cool. So sick. I was about to ask, because when you mentioned the beings, I was like, it's good material for your lyrics. You know, like
it's amazing. Yeah.
So
imagery is amazing in it. And like I got inspired from it. Like I went when we were finishing up Dereliction, I went to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, Florida. And doing the haunted houses stuff. Like, we went really immersive into it. And man, I felt fired up to write some deathcore. Another time that happened, I went to Savannah, Georgia, and we did paranormal lock-in investigation, and we went and toured cemeteries, and it's one of the most haunted places on earth. And I felt so inspired after.
Did you feel, by the way, something like presence and so? Did you really feel something, or it didn't?
Yeah. So in the lock-in paranormal thing, you know, it's like I always try to find an explanation for everything, but there was one section, there was like a basement section, and I just got like really sick for like 30 seconds. And it was weird. Like I turned like white, and it was weird. I've had some weird things happen to me, and I've always tried to find explanations for it and can't. I'm not somebody where it's like, if you watch these paranormal TV shows, like 99.9% of that is like cinematic and fake. I do think there is something to do with energy. I don't know. I've had some weird stuff happen to me personally.
I see it as dimensions. Like, I don't think it's something. I don't think it's like in the movie they take you. Like, I just think we might come across certain crossing, because the universe is giant. Like, we might come across like that. That would be my best theory. I really don't think though that they're there to throw a lamp. Like, but like, picture yourself as a spirit. You're standing there. You're waiting the whole night that they close the like, to wait for the perfect moment to make it scary intentionally. And you're like, Yeah, this lamp. That's what I'm gonna be
Right.
showing, and you hope they're gonna see it. You might miss. Maybe they're just gonna think it was a cat. So that part, I'm like, yeah. But energy, as you said, sometimes feeling you're not alone, stuff like I think it's probably like a super complex kind of,
Oh yeah, yeah. We did take a picture of a mirror, and there was like a big tall like cabinet in the back. When we went and looked back, and we're like, oh, that looks weird. And then like the next photo, the cabinet was not there. There was no cabinet. It was just like a mass. It looked like a cabinet. Like there's a little bit of detail, but like you couldn't see it perfectly. So like that was kind of cool. I was like, whoa. But at the end of the day, there is like part of me that I'm there to have fun as well.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna try my hardest to find something, right? And whether or not it was, there could have been like a weird glare or something, right?
Yeah.
Like most cases, that's going to be the case. But it is fun, and I recommend anyone do it if you can. Just a fun experience, especially if like you're with some friends or like with your girlfriend or wife. It's like it's a cool little connection because you guys. It is kind of sketchy when you're in a dark place that has history, and like you're already in the mindset like something could happen. And when you're like in a room by yourself and like you get to see the dynamic with the person that you're with, we chose to do it on our own, my wife and I. Most people do it in groups. We're like, no, we want to do it on our own in each section. And there was a few times where I'm like, try to breathe it out, and it's for what reason? There was no reason. It's more about just like I'm vibing with it, and like I want to feel it. Yeah, it's cool. It's fun.
But it's cool.
Cool.
I love also that it sometimes inspire you for your music. I think it's awesome because like we kept talking tonight about the horror kind of aspect with like your music. So you like with all these conversation, we're just like what I'm realizing is like it's just part of you as it's not like let's put that in the bed. It's like it's part of you, and you get genuinely inspired, and that's why we're hearing it. That's why it's so dark and it's different, right? Like the weirdness is probably. It has to do with it, definitely.
Yeah, there's other bands that do horror, like the Ice Nine Kills thing, and to me, that's more of like standard, vanilla, generic horror. Like we're gonna do things about slashers and stuff like that. It's like all power to them. Really successful at what they do. They love it. Their fans love it. To me, I'm more into like the next layer of thinking of what horror is. So, when I get inspired, like it's not going to be direct. I'm not going to write about a haunted house, but I am going to write about something dark, and like it's probably going to become more in my tone and my sound and the vibe of the song and the actual lyrics. So
yeah, makes sense.